Because in-person training is such a grind, long hours in the gym, literally trading time for money, and it's so hard to get clients and so hard to keep clients. A lot of people think that when that translates to going online, that it's the same type of grind. It's a long day. It's a 12 to 14-hour day. You're trying to get clients all the time. You're trying to make people happy. When in fact, if you do it correctly, it's often the opposite. So who am I? Why should you listen to me? Why even kind of listen to me in the first place? So my name is Ashton Hunter. I used to be an in-person coach. I used to be that person, if that's you right now, working that long shift, working those 12, 13, 14-hour days in person, literally trading time for money. And it wasn't until I found this one strategy that I'm going to share with you that allowed me to become something that I call the leveraged online coach. And that's and as soon as I did that and followed the steps I'm about to share with you, if you stick around for this video, everything changed for me. I went from, really not being able to afford, a lot of things to really being able to do what I want, when I want, kind of being able to travel, being able to kind of do whatever I want, wherever, however I want type of thing. A lot of my clients in the industry are people who you would probably not think would make a lot of money. People with maybe 1,000, 2,000 followers, but these people are pulling in multiple five figures a month. I mean, upwards of 40, 50, even $60,000 a month with a small freaking audience. People that you wouldn't even expect to be making a lot of money. These are the types of people that are working with me. One of my clients specifically, his name is Paul. He closed 24K 2 weeks ago. 24K in 1 week, right? Crazy numbers. So if that sounds like something you want to do, stick around for this video. I'm going to share with you all of the secrets. I'm going to show you the exact process that we use to do that. And that's pretty much it. Let's jump into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to be taking it on the iPad. I'm going to pretty much be walking you through everything you need to do and how I was able to scale the clients that I'm working with right now, and even myself, this exact strategy to the point where I am right now. So I'm sure if you're in person right now, or even if you want to scale online, the first thing that everyone does, and everybody does this because we're all humans, is we go and we look at what other people are doing in the space, right? So we go on Instagram, we go on TikTok, we go on these platforms, and we try to see what other people are doing, especially successful people, and we try to mimic them thinking that it will work for us. And sometimes there may be some success in that, but a lot of the times that leads to failure, right? So when we look at what most people are actually doing, is they are following this very simple structure, right? They're pretty much just posting cool videos. I call them ego strokes, where they're, posting on TikTok, they're posting their TikTok reels, they're posting their Instagram reels, they're posting maybe some educational videos, and they're trying to amass this audience, right? They're trying to do this. They're trying to build up this audience, right? What are some other things? Maybe they're sending some DMs. They're sliding into people's DMs. Hey, do you need an online coach? Are you looking for fitness help, etc., whatever. Third, they're trying to educate their audience, right? So they're going out there and saying, hey, eat like this and don't eat like this, and follow this diet and don't follow this diet, and do all these things and, buy my program type of thing. And then that leads us to the fourth, which is sell a program, and not just any program. This is a low ticket program. So something for like maybe $299 one time, maybe a recurring of $200, maybe an ebook, community, something like that. Or let's get to the next one. They are pushing a discount code. So they're doing maybe some Young LA shit. They're maybe doing some Gymshark. They're doing something where they're pushing some sort of discount code. And this is what everyone is doing. Like, this is what everyone's doing. Now you may ask, why does this not work? Why does this not work, Ashton? People got success with this. There's people, I know this guy, he's making so much money with this. Why does this works, man? I'll tell you why this doesn't work and why this won't work specifically for you. Does this work in general? If you follow this, sure, you can get some success with this. There's people who've gotten success with this, but are we looking for success, right? Or are we looking for money in the most leveraged possible manner, right? So This positions you as a commodity. Positions as commodity. Positions as a commodity. Right? So because you're the same as everyone else, what are customers going to treat you as? The same as everyone else. We have to make different and we have to be different if we actually want any sort of different success, any sort of different outlier style success, right? It's very straightforward. B, right? It's lots of work. Now you may say, "Oh my God, I'm used to it. I love working." Right? I you know I grinded in person forever, and it's so much fun to work, and I like you can do that, but I know so many people who've started online coaching business and they've literally hired themselves in their own business and they become a glorified employee. So they literally become an employee back doing what they were initially doing in the job online, right? And then C, it's just overall unleveraged, right? So it positions you as a commodity. They're the same as everyone else. It's a lot of work. Just think about how much work this is. You're posting TikToks, you're posting Reels, you're posting every day. I knew there's one girl, and she would post. She would have Thursday and Friday as her content days, like she was fucking Layla Hormozy. And this girl, what she would do is she would literally take 12 hours each day, so 24 hours total, and she would make content. And then for the rest of the week, she wouldn't worry about it, and then she would make content. And you could say, oh, this is good batching, but like do the math on that. That's a lot of time just focusing on content. And this girl wasn't pulling in like 20K a month, 30K a month, 40K a month. She was making like 5, 6K a month, 5 to 6K a month. This much work. She's been doing this for 4 years, right? I don't know about you, but that's not really something I want to do. Not really something I'm super interested in, right? So what is the solution then? And the solution is super simple. I'm going to jump into it right here. So there's something called leverage. And I talked about this back here, but there's something called leverage. And what leverage is leverage is disproportionate input to output ratio. So I'm going to draw you a fulcrum. Pretty much you have an input and then you have an output, right? This is just physics. You want your inputs to be much less than your outputs, right? Because as humans, we are psychologically inclined to really tie our inputs to our outputs. We're farmers. So it's like plant the seed, get the crop, right? Go chop down some wood, we get the result from that. But the thing is, in business, if you want disproportionate returns, if you want massive, massive returns, you need to disconnect your inputs from your outputs. So pretty much if we're looking at this right here, this is, a lever with a fulcrum. This is the fulcrum right here. And then this is the force being pressed down here. Then there's force coming back out of this side. If we move this fulcrum, right, something happens. And what happens there is pretty much correlated with physics. So I'm gonna draw pretty much a diagram here because I have a background in physics, and I want this to kind of resonate with you guys. So this is pretty much a lever, fulcrum, right there. I'm gonna tie a weight to this side. Right, so that's a weight, and that force is going down, obviously. Then we have a few points here. So this is X distance, this is L distance, and then there's force, obviously, on this end, which is coming up if that's going down, right? What does that force equal? That force equals, and you're going to see where I'm going with this. You're like, why are we doing math? I don't like math. I don't like math either, but this is a very good explanation of kind of what I'm alluding to. So pretty much this force is equal to this times this divided by this, right? So let's say that this is 2, that's shorter, this is longer, and then let's just give this a number of 50, for example. It doesn't really matter, right? We got 2 times 50 divided by 3, right? 100 divided by 3, you're looking at 33.33, whatever, right? It's not a lot of force. Now let's say we move this fulcrum a little bit over this way. We move it right here. And then this becomes 3. So this is no longer 2. And this becomes 2, right? So what happens now? Same equation. 3 times 50 divided by 2. What's 3 times 50? 150, 75. Right? So just a simple movement in where our lever is placed gets us much more output for the exact same 50 gram, 50 pound, whatever 50 input that we put in, right? So a lot of you are just putting in this 50. You guys are just going along the path, just 50, 50, 50, putting in the 50 without actually just thinking, okay, where's my fulcrum placed? Because this fulcrum is going to dictate how much force I'm getting in terms of output. Does that make sense? So let's actually go through here and let's figure out where to place your fulcrum, where to actually, in terms of certain things, like what are the things now to actually get leverage? Where do I place my fulcrum? So let's jump into it. So we have 3 things. One is your offer plus mechanism. 2 is your market. And then 3 is your delivery. Right? So for example, I'm going to draw a gun. That's your gun shooting a bullet, whatever. This is your offer, and then this is the delivery. Okay? So now you may say, okay, what do I do with each of these? How do I do this? How do I make a good offer so that when I shoot and aim with the delivery, then this offer actually leaves an impact on my target? It's the same thing as shooting if you guys do any, I don't know. You guys get what I mean, right? So let's jump into it. So specifically on an offer basis, everyone is doing this. Okay, what is everyone doing? Let's go back to before. Everyone's doing weight loss. Lose 30 pounds. Right? Here's my program. Gay. Super gay. Right? What actually makes a good offer? Let's draw the equation. Dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement. Perceived likelihood of achievement. And then we got time delay divided by time delay times effort and sacrifice. Are we on the same page here? Right? So what is the problem here? You're not with me here. You're listening to me talk about offer. You're listening like, okay, oh, I need an offer. Okay, cool. What is the problem though? Like, why don't I just keep doing what I'm doing? Why don't I just keep posting my cool TikToks, my cool reels, just post that people will come to me, etc. This is the problem. And it's a big problem. You are competing against other really big fish in the sea. For example, what is the outcome of an offer that has to do with fitness coaching? It is to get people healthy, maybe lose weight, feel good, look good. But mostly it's like lose weight, gain muscle, right? Muscle type of thing, whatever. You get what I mean? Lose weight, gain muscle. That's usually the outcome. What are other things that do that? Supplements. Supplements are literally killing fitness coaches and gyms. The supplement industry is massively larger than the gym industry, than the fitness coaching industry, than online fitness influencers. It's massively bigger, way bigger, right? Why is it bigger? Because of this equation right here. Let me erase some of this so you can see it again. Pretty much what the supplement industry is doing is it's solving all these problems that I put right here: healthy, look better, feel better, lose weight, gain muscle. And it's removing any effort and sacrifice, and it's removing any time delay. And it's increasing perceiving likelihood of achievement because it's a fucking pill and it's like, oh, science backed, whatever, for the same dream outcome. Right? So what it's doing is it's literally providing way more value because you don't have to wait. You can just take a pill and just go on with your life. And there's no effort and sacrifice. There's no pain in taking a pill, really. Right? And with you, for example, you're making them do a lot of effort and sacrifice. They have to go to the gym, They have to eat clean. They have to, be disciplined. And then it's going to take maybe a few months. A pill is instant. Ozempic is instant. Weight loss pills are instant. Right? Perceived likelihood of achievement, because it's all, I don't want to say science, but science backed. It's all, oh, it's a pill, it's proven, just take it and that's it. And then we got doctors right now who are prescribing certain things like Ozempic. That's like $300 a shot. And then there you go. And then now it's even more high of a likelihood of achievement because a doctor is like the ultimate status figure in health for the same dream outcome. Right? So the supplement industry is killing us right now. The coaching market is getting crushed. For example, the meditation market is a lot smaller than the Adderall market. Can you maybe understand why that might be? Why is there so much more Adderall prescriptions than meditation prescriptions, for example? Right? Because you take Adderall, you get focus instantly, with zero effort and sacrifice, with a 100% perceived likelihood of achievement. And it's the same dream outcome as meditating every day for like a year, right? So meditation, you have to wait a long time. You have to do it every day. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of sacrifice. And the perceived likelihood of achievement is 50-50 for the same dream outcome, right? So pretty much what's the problem then? The problem is pretty straightforward. It's in this equation right here. So I'm going to erase some of these so we can get on the same page, get all clean here, look nice and fresh. So what is the problem? The problem is increasing all of these and decreasing these, right? And the way we do that is through one word called trust. What I realized personally is if everyone trusted everyone 100%, if I said 100% trust in you, I trust you 1,000,000%, John, I'll give my life for you, I trust you, I would do anything for that person, right? So the game isn't, the game is obviously, lowering these, making these higher, but that really stems from trust, right? So we really have to make people trust us. And with supplements, it's really trustable. It's extremely trustable because we got doctors prescribing Ozempic. You see other people who haven't given any effort and sacrifice. It's just like super trustable. And with fitness coaching, it's like, there's testimonials and there's stuff like that, but just supplements, it's just so much easier in that sense. People just love supplements. Everyone has supplements. Everyone has like vitamin C at their house, right? So it's just like a big game of trust and a big game of increasing dream outcome, increasing likelihood of achievement, decreasing time delay, and decreasing effort and sacrifice so that people will want to actually buy our stuff. So what is the solution then? Right now, you're probably feeling pretty nihilistic. What is the solution to this? Right? It is to not try to compete. Not try and compete. Don't compete because you're not going to beat these supplement companies. The best thing you could do is remove yourself from the in-person muck, remove yourself from this online competition, and find a new blue ocean, right? What is a new blue ocean? It is all in the mechanism. Because pretty much with all these drugs, all these supplements, all these fitness coaches out there, everyone is preaching something bigger. They're saying, hey, this is the best new thing. This is the big thing. Lose 30 pounds, lose 40 pounds, lose 100 pounds in a week. Everyone's going bigger, 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 right? And what is happening is the market is getting exhausted. Market is getting exhausted. It's getting numb to the messaging, right? It's getting super numb. So how do we do that? We create something new. We need a new mechanism, something new that solves this value equation, like what I went through before, and develop and innovate a big new thing. Innovation is key. And how are we going to do that? We're going to do that through a new mechanism. And then you may ask, okay, what specifically? I'll give you one right here. We're going to do that through pricing. It's a big one. Pricing, you're going to price high ticket. How high ticket? It's like you're going to price extremely high ticket. When I say high ticket, I'm going to mean anywhere from 2 to 7K upfront. You can charge even more. I have people charging like 10K per package for like 6 months. You got to remove yourself from that rat race. You got to remove yourself from all of that and literally just go way outside, way above or way below, right? What does that do? Pricing high ticket, what does that do in terms of offering? What that does is that gets less clients who are more committed, right? When you have less clients that are more committed, what do they think? They're going to get better results. What do better results equal? Better results equal more testimonials and client proof equals more customers. And then you have more profits to invest back in marketing, to invest back in product, to make everything better. And there is no downfall from a high ticket price. So in terms of offer, in terms of creating a solution for this, you are going to obviously decrease, increase, but you're going to really want to start with a new mechanism with a really high price, right? So you're going to, because with a high price, what you're going to do is you're going to get less people who are really interested. And as soon as, like, let's say I'm on a sales call with someone and I'm like, hey, dude, the price is $7,000. He's automatically thinking in his mind, he's like, holy shit, if this guy's charging me $7,000 and the 4 other fitness coaches that I was on a call with last week were trying to charge me $250 a month, and I was giving them objections and I was saying, let me think about it. And now this guy's coming in at 7K. This must be different. This must be new. This must be something that is not the same, because if he's charging 7K, it has to be so amazing. Like, you know what I mean? Because people, obviously money equals value, right? So if money's up, value's up. And he's thinking, holy shit, that's a lot of money. That must be a lot of value. And what does a lot of value equal? Really good results. Big results equal better life. So you see the correlation here? Better life. So we're going to really start with that high ticket price, okay? And innovating a new mechanism, innovating a new way to get to that end goal and to make that dream outcome. It's the same dream outcome. It's always going to be the same dream outcome. Everyone wants the same dream outcome. It's just the other levers in here and making a new mechanism around that we can use to get there. Now we're going to jump into how to actually tap into a market. So I know I talked back here about specifically, okay, so offer and mechanism, we cover that. Now, what about our market? Who are we targeting, right? This is all about who. Is there a specific who? It's very simple. Let's jump into it. All right, so we're going to jump into the market now. So specifically with the market, what a lot of people will do is, and this is a very common mistake, is they look at the market. So I'm going to draw a big circle. Let's say this is the fitness industry, people who could potentially, you could help within fitness. And they look at the market and they pretty much, this is them. I'm a fitness coach. I'm providing fitness solutions. And I'm just going to dive in. Boom, I'm coming right into the market. I'm going to pretty much help everybody with my solutions. And this is a very quick way to go out of business because trying to take that entire pie for yourself is very difficult because what you're going to want to do, and it's very simple. It's a Sun Tzu quote. Sun, I think this is how you spell it, is you have to pick your battles. That's pretty much what he based Art of War off of. And the battle of going up against the entire market and trying to just compete against big fish is really a quick way to die out. So what you're going to do is pretend that this is the entire fitness market, people who could potentially want fitness. Say this is a billion people. What you're going to do is you're going to cut the market a few times. So you're going to take this market and you're going to cut it here. And then let's say these people within this bubble are people who want to lose weight loss. And then within that, again, we're going to narrow it down even more. And let's say it's moms. And then narrow it down even more. I'm just making this off the top of my head. Moms with menopause, like menopausal. All right. And then moms with menopause who, have hormonal help type of thing. Okay. So pretty much instead of going for that entire market as before, we're trying to take this entire thing. What we're doing now is we're now just trying to take this small portion of the market, right? It's a lot easier of a task. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's definitely a lot more tangible rather than trying to go for the entire market. Once we now establish ourselves in this market, we then go to the next market. So now we help everyone with menopause. And then once we become this established person in this smaller market, we go to the next market. We're just helping moms in general, right? And then once we help moms in general who are trying to lose weight, we're going to open ourselves up even more, right? And then once we grow, we start small and then we move outward. It's the same with war, for example, kind of talking on Sun Tzu, is you don't win a war by fighting the biggest battle first. You win a war by taking a village, right? And then taking a city, and then taking a region, and then taking a country, and then taking a continent, right? And that's exactly what we're doing with this market. We're starting small and we're moving outward. What people do usually, like I said before, just to erase this all. Boom. Okay, that's good enough. What people do is when they're going after the whole market, what happens is they're going like this. So they may kind of get random portions of the market here, right? Because you're offering weight loss, and you get a dad, you get a mom, you get a kid who's fat, you get a grandmother, and you're getting all these random people, right? Sure, you can scale like this, but what happens is this: you develop a system for how to help one person, and you can't really validate that system when you're helping so many different types of people. For example, let's say I develop a system that specifically helps accountants get organized. Accountants get organized. The only way for me to make this system better that I'm selling is to do this. Input, system, output, feedback. The only way for me to make this system better is to run this system with as many people as possible. Not as many people in general, but as many accountants in general. Because what I'm going to be doing is when I run this, I'm getting a ton of feedback, and from that feedback, I'm making new input. And then I'm running it again with a new client. They're giving me more feedback. And I can only do this when I have accountants, right? So let's say now I'm trying to make this system good, but I'm using accountants, I'm using plumbers, I'm using everyone. I don't know if the feedback I'm getting has any relevance because what I'm trying to do is help one specific person, and the system gets better when it's focused on one thing rather than a million different things, right? So in order to make your system better, in order to make your product better, you need one person that you're helping, and that one person is the only person and the only type of person that you help. Because if you're using a million different people, you're going to validate a million different processes that you make individually for each prospect, rather than one process a million times, right? So imagine if Steve Jobs made an iPhone that was different for each person based on what he thought would help them. That would be drastically different if you made one iPhone for a billion people. So we're making one process that we can run a million times rather than a million time process for each person, because we want the system to be really good and work really well. And the only way to do that is to run it with one person a million freaking times. Does that make sense? I know we're kind of covering a lot here, and I know this is definitely providing a ton of value for you guys. So let's keep going. So what do we have next? Let's go back. So we defined what leverage is. We defined what our offer and mechanism. We know what our market is. Who are we targeting? Now we have to figure out delivery. So the thing with delivery that's so good is you've done all the heavy thinking. So you've done all the heavy lifting. You've done all the heavy thinking. Because if your offer, your mechanism, and your market are bing, 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 and these are all synchronous with each other, and each of them complement each other, you're providing a solution to a problem, and you're following the offer steps that we did with the value equation, you are now, and you're charging high ticket, you are now leveraged and providing a solution, right? If you've solved all of these, you've done all the heavy lifting. All you have to do is just take these and find a way to put it in an attractive box with nice lettering, with a nice image, whatever, and get it in front of people, in front of eyeballs who are going to see that and want to give you money for it, right? So this stage is all about this process. Packaging and eyeballs, right? So pretty much you've done all the heavy thinking. It's pretty much only a matter of getting this in a tangible manner and getting eyeballs on it, right? So let's draw a little bit of a funnel here. Let's draw our process. So this is a funnel. This is customers. These are people who are paying us. Let's just put money here, right? People who are paying us. What happens is we are getting leads. Leads are getting nurtured through a sales device or devices. They are booking a sales call, and then they are giving you cash, right? So you may now ask, okay, how does this process work? How do we, get these people and, find these people in? So it's very straightforward, because when I say you've done the heavy lifting, you've really done the heavy lifting if you've really gone through the last steps. Because if your offer is in tune with the value equation, if your mechanism is new, and something different, if your market is very locked in and very narrow, and you're providing a specific solution to a problem for one person, all you are doing is basically just saying, hey, market, this is what I'm doing, right? And what that's going to do is that's going to get you a bunch of leads, right? It's as simple as that. People are saying, oh, you need these massive lead magnets. You need to put together a free community. You need a free course. You need all this bullshit. But do you think Amazon's going to give you a free package just to try it out? No, right? It doesn't work like that. If all of these are nailed, it's a matter of stating what you do, how you do it, who you do it for, and getting that in front of a bunch of eyeballs, right? So once you get a bunch of leads for that, you are then going to get these people into a sales device. What is a sales device? anything from a VSL, maybe some sales letter, emails, sequences, to nurture them, right? Even obviously calls, very important. And once these leads consume this, get sold on the mechanism, get educated on the mechanism a little bit more, then they're going to be like, oh shit, I have to take action. It's like pretty much what you're doing in this stage is I call it the pick the scab stage. So imagine your customer has this big scab on their knee. What you're doing is you're picking it, irritating. And then once it's so irritated, you're saying, okay, here's a Band-Aid. Right? Here's a little Band-Aid for you. Right? And then that Band-Aid is the sales call. And then on that sales call, obviously, you are collecting cash and closing them. The entire point of this funnel is for people to exit the funnel. You don't want the same amount of people here and the same amount of people here. People get really pissed off. They get really emotional. They see a bunch of leads coming in and then not a lot of conversions, right? The thing is, you want people to get, weaved out. You don't want to deal with people who aren't nurtured. You don't want to just get everyone on the phone. You don't want people to just go from lead, hey, book a call. Because you're going to get a bunch of calls that are of people who are just super uninterested, super boring, who just don't really care, and maybe will show up and be like, hey, I'm from Alabama. Like that type of shit. And I've been through that cycle. We all know what it's like to get on a call with someone who doesn't know anything about you. Hey, why are you calling me? Hey, I have no clue what's going on. Is this? And then they list something completely else. Right? So we need this to be, it's a funnel. It's not, a funnel doesn't look like straight. It's not a tube. It decreases in volume more we go through it. Right? So now that we've kind of gone through, we know kind of how to get, people, leads, sales devices, sales calls. What is the most leveraged way to do so, to get eyeballs? And it's very simple. It's through paid acquisition. So you're going to pay for eyeballs. And before you say, oh my God, I don't want to run ads, let me tell you this. So I post a lot of content. I post a few TikToks, I post Instagram, I post YouTube, I post all the time organically. Because I enjoy it. I enjoy putting content out and kind of building slowly. But one simple ad will beat all of the organic content I put out by tenfold in terms of impressions, in terms of leads, in terms of sales opportunities. One simple ad, right? So before you say, oh my God, I don't want to run ads. I've run ads before. Oh, my friend ran ads. Just shut up, right? I'm spending quite a bit of money on ads right now. I'm spending maybe about 5 or so K a month on ads. Not a lot of money, but I'm getting a pretty clear ROI on that ad spend. Usually it's about 10 to 15. So imagine a vending machine where you put money in, right? You put money into this vending machine and then you get more money out, right? This is what's happening. So you are paying for eyeballs and you are literally making this vending machine where you put money in, get money out, and then you can put that more money back in and get more back out, more back in. It's a cycle, right? So you need to pay for eyeballs. This is very crucial because if your offer, your mechanism, and your market are all locked in, then if you pay for eyeballs, you are going to get more money out than what you get in, right? So what are some general tips? I'm going to share with you some general tips to keep in the back of your mind moving forward. So now that you've watched this entire thing and you're like, okay, cool. What are some general tips for me to get leveraged? So number one, you're going to start wide. And this is for your funnel. So what a lot of people will do is, when I talked about my market and, obviously we're getting specific with the type of person we're helping, that's totally fine. But we want a lot of people in the top of our funnel, right? The biggest mistakes I've made before is making it super hard to go from ad to lead. You want to make this first process in the chain of command really straightforward. You want to get a ton of leads really cheap. You don't want to get, a bunch of, high quality leads per se. People say, oh, I don't want to get, a bunch of low quality. I want to get a bunch of high quality. That's bullshit. You want to get a bunch of leads that are cheaper per se, and get a bunch of those filling the top of your funnel, because that's going to do a lot better, right? You want to get a ton of leads initially, right? So you're going to want to start really wide. That doesn't mean to go smaller on your niche, go smaller on your market. No, you're going to want to get a bunch of leads up front, right? Like in the top of your funnel. If you start really slim, then you're kind of like doing this. You're like, if you're starting really small, you're going to just keep going even more smaller. So you want to start and cast your net as wide as possible so that you can really narrow in. I'd rather start really wide and narrow in at the end, maybe reject a few people, rather than start here and then have to just kind of work with what I have. Does that make sense? Cool. 2, this is a big concept. Give the customer what they want, not what you want, right? Not what you want, not what you want. It's a big concept. So personally, this was a while ago, I was running this ad campaign and I made it really nice. I made this massive video, this really long video, and I made it kind of out of ego. I was like, oh, I love how this looks. This looks so professional. This looks exactly how I would make a campaign. I thought it was so nice. I was educating the leads. I was doing everything I wanted. And I started running ads. I ran them for a little bit, and then no sales, no conversions. And the reason that is because I was making it based on what I wanted rather than what the customer wanted, which is a big mistake. 3 is ownership over everything. So in this process right here, in terms of getting leads and converting them to people, when you are running ads, when you are getting these eyeballs, you don't want to keep these eyeballs on the platform. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just, run ads and then just text them, DM them, that sort of stuff. Keep them on, they'll keep the leads on the platform. What you want to do is you want to extract from the platform and make your own platform. The way you do this is you get their name, their phone number, and their email. You need to get this, and you need to log this in your database, in your CRM, in your Google Sheet, whatever it is. You need to take and own this data. If you keep the data on the platform, you will lose, because if let's say your Instagram account gets shut down, you're screwed. You're done, right? Cool. And then last tip, just wrapping up here. This is the biggest one. This is a very important tip. So I had this client who was a gym, and they were a personal training studio. They were selling a very high ticket package. It was like $5,000, very high ticket. And what we were doing is we were running ads. They were pretty much opting in. So ad to lead, and then they were doing 1 call, and then 2 call. And this was in person. So not really a call, like a consult. Right? So pretty much what we were doing is, we had appointment setters calling the leads booking the call, and then from that call, they were selling the in-person consult, etc. What we were doing, and I was pretty much, booking this first call, and they were pretty much selling, after this is obviously cash and whatnot, after that consult, what they were doing in this portion is they were trying to sell the final thing, right? What this guy was doing right here is he was trying to sell the final thing. You never want to do that. You never want to sell the final thing at this stage. For example, let's say you're with a girl and you're out on a date. You're not going to sell to her that you want to get married to her on the first date. You're going to just sell the second date, right? So what you need to do is in your ads, you're selling the lead. In the lead, from the lead, you're going to just sell the first call. In the first call, you're just going to sell the second call. And then in the second call, you're going to worry about collecting cash. So just worry about the next step in the chain of command. Don't worry about selling the final step, because that's not your problem. Your problem is just the next step. Just get to the next step, get to the next step, get to the next step. Don't freaking worry about it. Don't try to lose 300 pounds before you've lost 5 pounds, right? So in this chain of command, don't make the same mistake I made. when you're running ads to get leads. When you're, calling these leads or nurturing these leads, you are just nurturing them for a call. You are just trying to sell the next step. Don't focus on selling the whole thing. Cool. So we went through a bunch of tips. I gave a ton of value today. We went through a shit ton of stuff. We went through a lot today. If you enjoyed the video, if you got a lot of value from this, please leave a thumbs up because this took me a long time to make. This is a lot of the process that I do with my clients. And if you made it to the end and you're like, holy shit, this is a lot of value and I got a lot of value from this, I'm definitely going to apply this to my coaching business. And you're like, hey, Ashton, I could use some help with this and I could, I want this implemented in my own business. Pretty much what I do is I work with you on a one-to-one basis and I help implement this in your online coaching business so that you can go online, so that you can get a bunch of clients, charge high ticket, do what you want when you want, and actually be leveraged and not be this fucking online commodity fitness influencer. So if that's interesting, go in my YouTube. I have a book a call. Link in my pinned video. You can go there, book a call with me. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate it.